Hello and welcome student. This is our lecture number 1 for the subject mechanics of solids. In today's lecture, we will start a fresh chapter which is coplanar concurrent forces. Now, first of all, you are a new student. So you have to recall your physics. What is force? What is the characteristics of force? What is the unit of force? What is the effect of force? And then after we will study one theory which is law of parallelogram of forces, with the help of which you will find the formula of resultant force for two coplanar concurrent forces. First of all, let us see what is force. So, as in your screen, it is required to define force. What is force actually? You can see on the screen that an agent which produces or tends to produce, destroys or tends to destroy a motion of a body is known as force. Means force is responsible for the motion of the body. Motion can be started with the help of force, or motion can be stopped with the help of applied force. Now, what is the unit of the force? Unit of the force is Newton, and as you know that force is a vector quantity. What is vector quantity? Vector quantity is that type of quantity in which magnitude and direction both will be required to understand the quantity. Let us see characteristics of force. Now, as you know, what is characteristics of force? There are four types of characteristics of force you can visualize. First one is magnitude. What is magnitude? Magnitude of a force may be value like 10 kilonewton, 50 kilonewton, 200 newton, etc. Its unit is Newton and the bigger unit is kilonewton. The second characteristics is direction. Means you can see in the figure that the first figure is for the tensile force, means the block is pulled from both the sides by applying the force P. In the second figure you can see that the block is pushed with the help of two forces P from both the sides. So this type of force is known as compressive force, push force. The direction may be along OX axis, like towards north direction, and at 30° west of north. So these are the direction of the forces. And the third characteristic is nature. What is the nature of the force? The nature of the force may be tensile or compressive, means push or pull. Point of application. Fourth characteristic is point of application. The point at which the force acts on the body is called point of application. Means the force can be applied on the center of the body, on the end of the body, on the other end of the body. So this type of points are known as point of application of the force. So by these four characteristics, force can be defined. Let us go ahead and check two more definitions. First one is coplanar concurrent forces. Now what is coplanar forces? And then what is concurrent forces, which is the name of the chapter. So coplanar forces is the forces whose line of action lie on the same plane are known as coplanar forces. Suppose this is the force number 1 and this is the force number 2. But both the forces are lying in the same plane, then this type of forces are known as coplanar forces. Now what is concurrent forces? You can see concurrent forces means the forces which meet at one point are known as concurrent forces. Means two forces are meeting at a single point, then they are known as concurrent forces. More than two forces can also be meeting at the same point. Or you can say that when two or more than two forces are intersecting at the common point, then this type of forces are known as concurrent forces. So this is the definition of coplanar concurrent forces. Now let us see the main theory, most important theory, the law of parallelogram of forces. First of all, you just understand the figure. Here it is point O. From O to A, the horizontal force P is applied. It is the parallelogram. Which is the parallelogram? You can see from the figure that O, B, C and again A. OBCA is the parallelogram. So P, as you can remember that property of the parallelogram is that opposite sides are equal and parallel. So this force is also P. On the other side, means on side OB, the force is Q. So similarly on side AC, the force is Q, because both the opposite sides are equal and parallel. So I have taken P force on horizontal axis OA and Q force on the inclined line OB. Now extending this line up to point D and drawing a perpendicular up to point C. Or you can see from C point draw a perpendicular line which is at 90 degree, okay, which is at 90 degree, and this angle will be theta. You can see which is from this angle, which is theta. Means what is theta? Theta is actually the angle between two forces P and Q. Then the diagonal will be represented by R. R is the resultant force. Resultant force means effective force, net force, net effective force of P and Q. Suppose P will be 100 kilonewton, Q will be 20 kilonewton. Then what is the net effect of this forces on point O? It will be going in this direction, then it is known as resultant force. Okay, so this theta and this theta both are corresponding angles. So with the help of corresponding angle phenomena, these angles are theta. Now this is force Q which is inclined at an angle theta with horizontal. So you can remember from the geometry that line AD, you can see from the figure, line AD will be horizontal component which is represented by Q cos theta, and line CD will be vertical component which is represented by Q sin theta. So Q cos theta and Q sin theta are two components of the force Q. Now let us start with the law of parallelogram of forces. It is the law, so statement is must. So what is the statement? It states that if two forces means P and Q, acting simultaneously means together on a particle, here particle is point O, be represented in magnitude and direction by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. So two adjacent sides of a parallelogram are P and Q now. So these are the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, P and Q. Now the resultant may be represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram which passes through their point of intersection. Means point of intersection O is the intersection point of P and Q forces, and the diagonal is represented by a resultant force R. So this is the statement of the law of parallelogram of forces. But our interest is to find the formula to find out the resultant and its direction. You can see from the figure that the alpha, this angle alpha, which is the angle between R and P, means R and horizontal, this angle alpha is known as the direction of the resultant. So we have to calculate first of all R, then after alpha. Let us see step by step. You can see our formula is R equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, and tan alpha means to find alpha we are applying the formula of tan alpha, which is Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. In these two formulas, we are going to derive these two formulas, but in these two formulas, R equal to resultant force, theta equal to angle between P and Q, where P and Q are two given forces. P is horizontal force and Q is inclined force. Alpha is equal to angle between P and R, which is also the direction of the result. So just remember this figure on your screen and just remember these two formulas and notifications. These two formulas we are going to derive right now. So please concentrate. Let's see the proof of the formula. In the same figure, you just take triangle ODC. Remember this triangle O, D and C. It is a right angle triangle, you can see from the figure. So in the right angle triangle, you can apply Pythagoras theorem. So what is Pythagoras theorem? Square of hypotenuse means OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. You can see OC square is equal to OD square plus DC square. Now replace the values turn by turn. What is OC square? First of all, divide OD in two parts. You can see from the figure that OD can be divided in two parts, OA and then after AD. So in place of OD, I am replacing OA plus AD whole square plus DC square will be as it is. So now OC will be equal to R square. OA, from the figure you can see that what is OA? It is force P. So OA will be replaced by force P. What is AD? So AD will be Q cos theta. So here it is Q cos theta whole square will be as it is. What is DC square? You can see from the figure that DC will be Q sin theta. So here it is Q sin theta whole square. So now expanding this bracket with the help of formula A plus B whole square. What is A plus B whole square? I have told you in introduction lecture, A plus B whole square means A square plus 2AB plus B square. So here it is P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square cos square theta. It is the expansion like A square plus 2AB plus B square. And this bracket square will be like this, Q square sin square theta. Okay. So now R square is equal to P square as it is, 2PQ cos theta as it is. Now from the last two terms, we are taking Q square as common. So what is remaining? Cos square plus sin square. Now cos square plus sin square equal to 1 as you know from the 10th standard. So now finally this bracket will become 1 and the final answer will be P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So here R square equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. If you are taking square root on both the sides, then it will be R equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So it is our main formula to find the magnitude of the resultant. So what is the magnitude of the resultant? R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So this is the magnitude of the resultant. Now direction alpha will remain to calculate. Let us see how alpha will be calculated. You can see from the same figure that the angle alpha which can be calculated from the same triangle. Just take tan alpha. Now what is tan alpha? Tan alpha is equal to opposite side upon adjacent side. You can see from the figure that here it is alpha. So opposite side will be CD. Okay, opposite side will be CD and adjacent side will be OD. So it will be CD upon OD. Now OD is again divided in two parts, OA plus AD. Replacing the value, what is CD? CD is equal to Q sin theta actually. And what is OA? OA means force P. And what is AD? AD means the horizontal component of Q, which is Q cos theta. So by replacing the value, you will get the formula of tan alpha like this, Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. So from now, we will just remember two formulas. First one is R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta, which will give us the magnitude of the result. While the other formula is tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. Remember the notations carefully. Theta is the angle between force P and Q. Alpha is the angle between force R and P. P is always horizontal, Q is always inclined and R will be on the diagonal itself. So this is the main important theory, law of parallelogram of forces. In the lecture number 2, we will discuss the numericals, the examples based on law of parallelogram of forces. Some important examples are to be discussed in lecture number 2. So be concentrated, just revise this lecture again and again and then after go towards the lecture number 2. Till then, goodbye. Thank you very much students.